All right, joining us today on Pirate Radio Live, head football coach out at Greene Central, Jay Wilson. Coach, nice to meet you.
Yes,
Get you in
sir.
here for the first time.
Yeah.
Appreciate you joining us. How you doing, man?
No problem. Thank you for the invite. Enjoying it. Right in the middle of the camp season. One more scrimmage to go. So, good opportunity to kind of get away from things a little bit and just have a little, a little fun up here. So.
Well, I wanted to get you on for two reasons. One, I love talking to you guys. You'll be the sixth area coach I've talked to ahead of this season. And two, I saw you talking to Brian Bailey and also talking to the media. And one of the more entertaining high school coaches I've seen. So I was like, man, I got to get this guy on the show. So appreciate you joining us. We'll get to know you first, Jay. Where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Princeton, North Carolina. I played football there, graduated in 96. Went to A&T, played football there under Bill Hayes. Spent some time in Greensboro, and then I came back home, back to the area, and been back in Eastern North Carolina ever since then.
Well, man, Pirate fans don't want to hear it, but how pumped were you when A&T beat ECU?
I was in the stands.
Yes, sir.
I was in the stands both night. The rain night, where it got canceled, and we came back the next night, and I actually had a couple of guys that played on the team that I knew personally, and so it was a rough day around here.
Oh yeah,
but we had a good time in Aggie Land.
Some bragging rights for a long time.
The last time we had to play y'all,
and the legendary "Tell them to bring me my money."
I got a T-shirt with that on it right now. Bring me my money. So,
there you go.
Yeah.
And Jay, how long you been at Greene Central?
This is year 10. I started under Alan Wooten. He was the head coach there for 2 years, and then when he went to Havelock, I took over. The very next year, and I've been there ever since. So.
I was buddies with the Wooten boys back in the day. And,
Alan, Brent, man, there's some good guys. Hard to tell them apart now.
It was for me back then.
I'm sure it was. Yeah.
Well, Coach, we'll talk about your team a little bit. So when you look at them right now, how much of it? Because we've talked to Conley, it sounds like it's kind of a rebuilding deal. Jay Ron Cook, out of Farmville said he's got a lot of young guys. We've talked to Will Bland at Rose, who said, man, he loves his returners. Where do you sit when it comes to that as far as returners versus new faces?
I think this year we have a really good blend. I think when we look around at the 22 starting positions, we're about half and half. Half are returners. The other half are JV guys who maybe started 1 or 2 years on JV. I have a 3-year quarterback in Josh Setner.
Nice.
I have a 3-year varsity offensive lineman in Big E, Elijah Phillips. He's got an offer from Barton. So in some places we're super old, senior lead, 3-year guy. Other places we're a 3rd year in the program, but 1st year on varsity.
Right.
1st year having to shoulder that load. JoJo and Trey are my slots. They're seniors, and they got a lot of playing time last year. So we're 50-50, but that's without injury. And you know how things go. You never know. You might have to look up and you got to pull that sophomore up, and he's got to go in there and play. So, we'll see.
I've known doing this for a while now not to take JV for granted. So do you guys have a JV, and how healthy is the program?
Yes. I'm a big JV guy. Yeah. The way we practice, JV's on one field doing offense, varsity's on another field doing defense, and then we flip. So I don't have a varsity DB coach. I have a DB coach, and he does JV and varsity. Same thing for O-line, all the way up through both of our offensive coordinators. Well, my varsity offensive coordinator and the JV offensive coordinator work hand in hand. So the JV program is the lifeblood of the program.
Yeah.
So on Thursdays, you'll see me on the sideline. I try not to coach. I try to, let those coaches do their thing. But every now and then I'll be like, hey, man, let me talk to you for a second, But I truly believe in it. We have about 30 to 31 on JV this year. And that's a number we like.
I saw you talking, and it's kind of Greene Central, Snow Hill versus the world type thing.
Versus the world, baby.
I'm just curious. Do you know Cliff Godwin? Have you met Cliff Godwin at all in Snow Hill?
Yes.
Because you kind of remind me of the football Cliff Godwin when you start talking like that.
That's a compliment. That's a compliment. He's done a great job at ECU baseball. He's got one of my favorite kids ever, Braden Burris.
Oh man.
Burris never played football, but from 9th grade until he graduated, he trained with the football program. So he came out of Greene Central, out of the weight room, deadlifting over 400, benching over 230, 245, and I'll tell him all the time. I said, I need a baseball. I need a signed baseball for all these home runs.
Yeah, really.
Whatever you hitting out here, I need a little money off that or something, baseball or something. But Braden's one of my favorite kids. But yes, Cliff is done a great job. I love to watch him interview. I love to watch him get on that mic and speak from the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we were talking beforehand. Sometimes it gets a little redundant and coach speak and stuff, and you like to, I guess, mix it up a little bit. Saw you talking to Coach Garrett Wingate, who we had on last week, talking to him on Facebook. But keeping it fun and entertaining, right?
Yes. I mean, it's a game. Yeah. It's still a game. We're not in the NFL. We're not P5, and we got $80 million a weekend running. You know what I'm saying? If we crack 8,000 on a Friday night, my AD is tickle pink. Shout out to David Bryant, ECU alum. So we have to keep it a game. And I think, this, like I tell my guys all the time, this is the last time where it's a pure game, where you're just playing for the love of the game. Hopefully nobody around here is handing out high school NILs. But, I mean, if you are, you are. But we're not in Greene Central. The best I can do is get LaFlama to come over and cater, a meal or something like that. But just keep it fun, keep it lively, and just have an opportunity to,
Man, something new I've learned I got to ask coaches about is players going to different schools. I went to Conley back in the day because that's where I grew up and was supposed to go. I didn't know I had options or whatever.
We didn't back in
exactly.
the day.
But how about that part of it, Coach? Do you find teams maybe coming after your guys? Or
for sure. And I tell my guys three things. I say, hey, was this coach coming after you when you were a poo butt ninth grader that couldn't bench 135 and couldn't squat? Did he wait till you were 3-star, 4-star, to now? Nah, man, you're the greatest. You can come over here and, yada, yada, yada. But I also tell them, I said, if you feel like going somewhere else will help your life, your career, your da-da-da-da-da, make sure it's bigger than football. Go. But I don't agree with it. I'm not a portal guy. I'm just not. I don't feel like diving in some 15-year-old, 16-year-old DMs to try to get them to come over and play for me to help me win another ball game, or making them promises about recruiting that I can't tell a coach who to recruit. I can give you the film and say, hey, coach, I think he fit good. But any kid out there that's listening or watching, if a coach promises you he's going to get you an offer, he ain't got a clue.
Coach Jay Wilson joining us. Coach, how have you evolved over time? How are you different as a coach today than you were 10, 15, whatever, 20 years ago?
I've learned to whisper. And I say that jokingly, but also seriously. This generation of kids is a little bit different. You can't scream and yell at each one of them because you don't know where they come from. So I've learned that sometimes just put it to the side. Let me talk to you for a second. Try to find out a little bit more about what's going on every day in their life.
Yeah.
Being more than X's and O's, trying to just really, really, really building a connection with a kid so that when I do have to crawl in your chest, I've given you 20 minutes of love. So these 2 minutes of what are you doing on this field doesn't feel so bad. So
that's awesome.
I think that's probably the biggest evolution that I probably have.
Well said. When it comes to X's and O's, what do you want the Rams' identity to be each Friday night?
And I know my OC, when he watches it, he's gonna roll his eyes. I want us to punish people. I do. And when I say that, I want us to establish our run game. I want us to look up and we're averaging 4 or 5 yards a clip, so that when we do throw the ball, it's only against 4 people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the 2 corners and the 2 safeties, the only people back there. And I think we have a much better shot at passing the ball against those 4 than the team that can say, hey, we're going to send 5, drop 6, and now you got to find a hole. So I think I'm a little old school with that. We want to establish the run game, and then when we throw, we want it to be wow, that kind of play. So
the real deal gets going next Friday. I heard you talking to Bailey, though. You got another scrimmage this weekend, or what you got coming up?
Thursday. Okay. We have Southwest Edgecombe, which is always a perennial power. Yeah. We have North Johnson, which is always the up-and-coming team to come in. We're still kind of looking for one more. We would love to fill out with one more. We had a couple of teams drop. But no matter what, we're going to get to work in, try to get 50, 60 plays in, and, have the guys kind of go into that weekend. Now everybody can kind of sit down and rest, and then we get into game week.
It's getting more and more tougher to schedule in college football. Is it still okay? Is it still easy to schedule in high school football for you?
Well, with RPI, with RPI rankings meaning so much to the playoff seeding.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to forego your crosstown rival or that team that you've been playing for 60 years to maybe pull in a team with a better RPI,
right,
so that it doesn't kind of kick you in the butt, you know what I'm saying, later on. Especially if you're, like for us, we're 3A. So we play another 3A team that doesn't have a great RPI, it does nothing for us. Now, if we go get a 4 or 5 that's mid-range or something like that, that helps us more. So you have to be cognizant of, let's keep this rivalry. You know, like us in Norfolk North, we've been playing probably since before anybody in this room was ever born.
right.
So you want to keep that, but then there's some other ones where you're like, you know, I might need to slide in somebody in the slot week 4 that can help my RPI.
I don't want it to get you in trouble, and also you can only control what you can control. But
Yeah.
do you like the newest realignment and the setup and everything, or can it be fixed, or how do you feel about it?
I mean, just, you know, plain speak, I think we're 1A too big, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we needed the 8 right now. I think if we went 1 through 7 and dispersed it evenly, I think that would have been fine. I'm not against the 8A.
Right.
I'm pretty sure the way schools are popping up, I'm sure in 2 or 3 years it'll be just as full as everything else. But, you know,
I asked you about Coach Godwin. I got to ask you about the legend Blue Edwards as well. How about Theodore Blue Edwards being there?
But yeah, Blue is a great guy. He took the basketball job 1 year after I took the football job. So we've kind of, our paths have always been in. You know, my son played for Blue, played basketball for Blue, and you know, Blue is an excellent coach. Knows the game backwards and forwards, and he's just a really interesting guy to sit down and talk to. Like if you ever get a chance to go in and, you know, I've had times where I go in and talk to him, you know, and listen to some of the NBA stories. And then he's super smart. He reads like a book a day, I think. You know, so he's just a really, really good dude.
Hey, it's awesome to have him back there and to have an NBA guy and having yourself there. I mean, I've been to Snow Hill, not the biggest place in the world, but man, what's it like? Have they? I guess at this point you're a resident, you know, member of the community now. You're an honorary Snow Hillian or whatever.
They gave me my jacket last week. You know what I'm saying?
But what's that feeling like? That family football, you know, Friday atmosphere.
I mean, it's really nice now because at year 10, but year 8 as a head coach, I'm coaching brothers of somebody I coached in the very beginning. I actually have 2 guys that I coached who are back on staff. Trey Dodd and John Willis are now, you know, back on staff as like volunteers, but are working with the kids. And so actually I have five right now, former Greene Central players on staff. So I love it. I really do. Snow Hill, Greene County is a great community. Very, very passionate about the sports, you know, from baseball to football to basketball.
Yeah.
They're going to try to pack the gym out. We got a brand new school, which is going to be amazing. We're doing the ribbon cutting Friday.
Okay, didn't know that.
Yeah, we open. I mean, the kids come in, you know, the 20th or whatever day it is. But you know, we're opening a brand new school, so it's a lot that's going on, and Snow Hill is a great place to be, man.
Awesome. Well, we'll circle back, but a couple more. Who's your favorite NFL team?
I'm a Cowboy fan all the way.
So I saw you with a Cowboy hat. I was hoping that didn't. I'm a Commanders, Redskins guy. So yeah.
I mean, everybody makes, you know, bad choices here and there. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, I probably did make a bad choice not transferring to the Panthers when they. But at that point, I'd already been to RFK, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just stick with these guys.
I'm Michael Irvin and Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith and Dion when he was there, and Jay Novacek and all those guys. My dad, you know, was a Commanders fan, and my uncles. So I think I was just being rebellious when I first started liking the Cowboys, and then I really, you know, fell, you know, in love with them. So yeah, Cowboy all the way.
Let's see if they can do so. Hey, maybe we can beat the Eagles and we can get along.
Yeah, somebody got to beat them. You know what I mean? Anybody.
What else you like to do when you're not in this straight football mode?
I love to work out. I try to. I'm the strength and conditioning coach at the school as well. So I love to, you know, work out. That's kind of my decompression time is to get away. I love to read. Love to travel. One of my very first cruises this year, my son graduated, so he chose a cruise for his graduation gift, and we went to like Cozumel and all those kind of things on that cruise, and I really got spoiled. It was hard to come back to practice the next Monday.
No kidding.
After, you know, being waited on that cruise hand and foot. So But definitely love to do that.
What music you listen to when you work out?
It depends on the day. It depends on the day. Like if you catch me on a leg day, it might be heavy metal. You know, if you catch me on back day, it might be 90s R&B. You
there
know,
we go. Okay.
Jodeci might be playing in my ears, something like that. It just kind of depends on the day. If you know, my playlist is pretty widespread.
Mike Mullis, who joined us earlier on the show, went to West Charlotte, and Jodeci performed at halftime of one of his high school games.
Wow.
Back in the day.
Wow. Yeah.
Which would be crazy. I think he said Mary J. Blige was there too, which would have been crazy to be in a high school game and have them people. When are y'all going to get him to Greene to Snow Hill?
We're Rhapsody fans. You know,
Okay,
Rhapsody is a big time artist right from Snow Hill. She's done a lot for our school.
Awesome.
You know, but you know, we're going to get Rhapsody to come in and perform at halftime or something like that.
There we go. Well, Jay, if everything goes like you want it to, if you had a perfect script, you know, what has to go right for you on Friday nights to have a successful season this year?
First thing, small time football, we got to stay injury free. You know, we have to, our main guys have to be able to play the entire year, so that we don't have to pull that JV kid up and do some things like that. We've got to, at the end of the season, we have to have double the amount of touchdowns that we do turnovers. You know, we definitely have to limit those turnovers. We have to limit those giving the team the ball inside the 20. And we have to be the most physical team on the field every night. I think if we do those three things, then, you know, the rest will take care of itself.
You got any two-way guys this year?
Yeah.
How many you got?
Now, this year I think we're pretty blessed. We don't have as many as we've had in the past. I know JoJo will do double duty. Trey Bynum will do double duty. Don, maybe Trey Eatman. So we're probably like 5 or 6 that will definitely play a lot of snaps on both sides of the ball. But we try to keep our O-line kind of away from it, you know, that. But 5 or 6.
It's a tough ask, but I got to imagine those guys are fired up about it, right? They just want to play.
They just want to play.
Yeah.
Like the 5 or 6 that I mentioned, they wouldn't have it any other way. They don't want to come off the field. Right. Even when I'm like, hey, come here, boy. I'm trying to give you a water break. You know, nah, because I'm good. I'm good. So yeah, but that's what you want. You want guys who want to compete.
Jay, pleasure to meet you, man. Fun to talk to you,
yes,
and we'll do it again down the road. Good luck to your guys this year, and we'll catch up during the season sometime.
Yes, sir, for sure. Thank you.